Hey guys, how you all doing? Today I want to talk about my favorite um, fantasy adventure film as a kid. I'm still on the nostalgia train, so I'm still talking about movies I love as a kid. Yeah, so this is one of them. It's actually my favorite. It's none other than Clash of the Titans. Yeah, the original, not the 2010 remake. That one. That film, I don't even know the point of them doing that. Like, that was Hollywood is right now like on the remake craze and all that. They're constantly remaking popular hits from the 80s and 70s and stuff. So that was kind of like in the that was kind of like I think that was what was behind that idea. So anyway, not that one. That film was okay. It was fine. It just yeah, I was not really a fan of that one. But the original that I love, starring Harry Hamlin, that film and a host of others. That film was amazing. As a kid, I really really loved it. I was back then I was into swords, swashbuckler films. I loved Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. I was a huge fan of those movies and what's it called, Masters of the Universe. Starring Dolph Lundgren. That was another sword film. Had a character with a sword in it. So I was into swords. I loved swords. Back then I was swords crazy. I loved swords so much. So this was a movie that had all that in it. So I really loved it. So yeah, in the film, Harry Hamlin plays Perseus. It's based on the Greek mythology. Zeus, Aphrodite, the Greek gods and stuff. So he plays Harry Hamlin plays Zeus's son. Zeus, according to the Greek mythology, he's always fond of going to beautiful women and sleeping with them and having children with them. Like Hercules is one of his kids as well. So so Percy is one of his sons. So in the film, he falls in love with this princess, and she was to be married to a guy called Calibos, and he was cursed by Zeus because he was I think he was not a nice guy. Let me just put it that way. He was not a nice guy. He was a bad guy. So he got cursed by Zeus and got turned into this horrifying looking creature. So he couldn't marry the princess who he was betrothed to marry, and all that. So that happened, but he, out of revenge, decided to make see to it that no one else could marry the princess. So he would give her riddles. He would summon her spirit to his lair in the swamps and give her riddles, so that any would-be suitor will have to solve the riddle. And if they fail to answer the riddle, if they get the answer wrong, they're gonna be burned alive. That was the consequence. So he did that to try and scare would-be suitors. But of course, there were those who were still showing up to try to answer the riddle and die. So Perseus now sees that one night that the vulture is this huge vulture that comes and takes the princess, takes her spirit to the lair of Calibos. So he now finds the flying horse Pegasus, and he tames the horse and uses the flying horse to trail the vulture as he takes the princess to Calibos' lair. So there he sees Calibos and he sees the riddle that she's being asked. She's being shown, for the next suitor to answer. So he now sees. So now he knows what the answer is. So he now attacks. Calibos actually attacks him and they fight, and he cuts off his hand. So he now goes to the queen to ask for the princess's hand in marriage. Then she comes out and she tells him the riddle, and he gets the answer, and he presents the hand of the Calibos and tells him that he chops it up. He chopped it off when they fought, and he spared his life on one condition, that he should no longer summon her spirits. And there was a plague he wreaked on the kingdom. So he lifted his curse. It was a curse from the kids. So he lifted his curse. So now she's free and all that. So during their let me say engagement party, let me call it that, the queen starts to boast about the beauty of her daughter, how beautiful she is, and she now compares, because Calibos is what's her name? The goddess Thetis, played by Maggie Grace. From Harry Potter. If you know the Harry Potter film, she was in Harry Potter as well. So she's very popular. So the queen compares her daughter's beauty to that of she compares the daughter's beauty to that of the goddess Thetis, and in her temple, no less, in her temple, she has there was this giant statue of the goddess Thetis like behind them, where she made this bold claim, and then the statue's head now like breaks off and falls to the ground, and the eyes of the statue now opens up. So like the goddess Thetis now starts to get really pissed off, like you, how dare you compare your daughter's beauty to mine and all that, so you're gonna pay for that. So she now tells the queen that she has to in 30 days give her daughter up as a virgin untouched to the kraken, which is a gigantic sea monster, so that the kraken will feed on her, or else the kraken is going to destroy the entire kingdom. So she has 30 days. So they now have to find a way to defeat the kraken, because they couldn't, they had to now find a way to defeat the monster that was going to, and he's huge. The monster is huge. So there's no army can defeat him. He's huge. So Perseus and his friends, they now decide to try and find a way to defeat the monster. So they now go visit these witches, and 3 witches, and they tell him that he has to get the head of the kraken. No, not the kraken. He has to get the head of Medusa, the Gorgon. So they now tell him where to go and find her. So he now goes with like a small group of soldiers to go and try and get Medusa's head. So it's a very dangerous journey, and successfully gets her head, and but Calibos tries his best to interfere to see to it that Perseus is unsuccessful, because he wants the princess to die. He wants her to die, so that Perseus doesn't get to marry her. So he tries his best to foil the plan. So but Perseus at some point defeats him, but he loses everyone else in the expedition. He loses everyone else. So he now comes back alone, and he now arrives the very day the princess is being offered up to the monster. So the monster has come out of its cage from the ocean. It lives in the ocean. So it's come out of its cage, and he now wants to feed on the princess. So he now comes with the head of Medusa and turns the kraken into stone. But if you know the legend of Medusa, that she was a priestess of the goddess of love, Aphrodite, and the so-called god of the underworld. What's his name? So he now seduces her, so they make love in the temple of the goddess of love, and she's jealous that they did that in her temple, and she decides to punish Medusa and turns her into this horrifying creature that any a single look from her will turn any living creature into stone. So that's Medusa. So that's the way to get her head. And even though you've chopped off her head, her eyes still turns any living thing to stone. So all you have to do is hold her head facing whoever it is you want to turn into stone, and they'll turn. So that's what he does to the kraken when the kraken comes out to feed on the princess. He now turns the kraken into stone. So the kraken now turns into stone, and so finally he's defeated, and he gets to marry the princess. So that's basically what the movie's about. So it's a very popular film. I'm sure you must have seen it. I'm sure you've heard of it. Either you've seen the original or you've seen the remake. But it's a wonderful movie. It's very, very good. Very, 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 very interesting. And they always do movies like that based on the Greek gods. But for me, you've seen Gods of Egypt. There was movies like that too. So but for me, this was like the one that started it all. The one that set the pace. So this film was really good. So as a kid, I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. So that's my favorite fantasy adventure film. So that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed the video, please like my video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and comment in the comment section. Let me know if you've seen this movie. If you love it, what do you think about it? Comment if tell me if you like the original more than the remake, or you like the remake more than the original. Comment in the comment section. Let me know. All right, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.